I was looking at the economic survey, and 2 points I found there, solid points, profound points that I liked. First point, that we are living in a world of intensifying geopolitical conflict. मतलब जो पुराना सिस्टम था, यूएस बेस्ड सिस्टम था, डॉलर बेस्ड सिस्टम था, यूनिपोलर जो सुपर पावर था, उस सिस्टम को चैलेंज किया जा रहा है. The dominance of the United States is being challenged by the Chinese, by the Russians, by other forces. And the second thing, also profound thing, that we are living in a world of energy and finance weaponization. मतलब एनर्जी को और फाइनेंस को हथियार बना दिया गया है. Main thing they are saying here is that we are moving from a world of stability to a world of instability. Prime Minister stated and NSA stated, shockingly, some time back, that the era of war is over. In fact, we are moving into the era of war. And you can see, war is there in Ukraine, war was there in Gaza, war is there in the Middle East, threat of war is there in Iran, we had Operation Sindoor. So we are moving into a world of instability. The dollar is being challenged. The central game, as my friends on the other side understand, is the dollar is being challenged. US supremacy is being challenged. We are moving from a world of one superpower to some new world that really we can't predict. Maybe two superpowers, maybe multiple powers. And it's an unstable world. And that is what you have said in your economic survey, and I agree with it, 100%. At the center of this fight is the concept of AI. Everybody says that we are moving into the era of AI. And I'd like to warn the government that AI is going to have many, many consequences. One consequence of AI is going to be that something that we relied on, the Congress Party and the UPA built, the entire Indian IT industry, companies like Infosys, companies that are at the forefront of information technology are going to struggle. They're going to be challenged. The idea of becoming a software engineer, which is a very popular idea in India, going to be challenged. Lots of our software engineers are going to be replaced by AI. So why I'm saying this is we're moving into a turbulent world, dangerous world. Now, when you move into a dangerous world, what is the first thing that you have to understand? The first thing you have to understand is what are your strengths as a person and as a nation. So I'd like to say to the House here what I think are the strengths of our great country. And I would say that the central strength is our people. 1.4 billion people, brilliant, energetic, dynamic, who can challenge anybody in the world. Biggest strength. But it's not only the people. Because in the 21st century, a very interesting thing has happened. People create data. So we have the biggest data pool on the planet. 1.4 billion people means massive amount of data is being generated in India, and data is wealth. Everybody talks about AI. But talking about AI is like talking about the internal combustion engine without talking about petrol. The petrol for AI is data. So let me repeat that. The petrol for AI is data. Meaning if you have AI and you don't have data, you have nothing. If you have AI and you don't have data, you have nothing. Now, which are the two biggest pools of data on the planet? The Indian pool of data and the Chinese pool of data. They also have 1.4 billion people. We have bigger population than them. We allow more freedom. We allow our people to do more dynamic things. So we have, in fact, more interesting data. What's the second strength? The second strength, and what do you need in difficult times? You need food. Who produces our food? Our kisans produce our food. Our laborers produce our food. This is what gives us strength. This is what allows that data to be produced. This is what allows that brilliance to be generated. And we fought for food security. Food is abundant today. So that's the second thing. And the third thing, what do you need to run a modern country? You need energy. You need fuel. You need petrol. So these are the three things that need to be protected in turbulent times. Our people and our data, our food supply, the ability to produce food, and our energy system. Now, what's interesting to me is that the budget recognizes these things. The budget recognizes that we are going into a dangerous time, intensifying geopolitical conflict. The budget recognizes that energy and finance are being weaponized all across the world. Dollar is being weaponized, dollar is weakening in value, gold, silver prices are going up. Everybody can see this. But there is nothing in the budget. There's absolutely nothing in the budget that looks into these two issues. There is nothing in the budget about energy and finance weaponization. There is nothing in the budget about the intensifying geopolitical conflicts and what we are going to do about it. The budget just reads like any of their budgets, right? And budget is something, of course, that comes once a year. But in parallel to the budget, something new has happened. The US deal. We have made a deal with the United States. Now, one thing I'd like to make very clear, and this is something that is not well understood. In a contest between the United States and China, the single most valuable asset is Indian data. If the Americans want to remain a superpower, please understand what I'm saying. It is very profound what I'm saying. If the Americans want to remain a superpower, and if the Americans want to protect their dollar, the key to that is Indian data. Why? Because the Chinese have a data pool of 1.4 billion people. And you can take European data, you can take African data, you can take American data, add it all up. It does not compete with Chinese data. So the real fight that is taking place, I'm saying what is our strength? I'm saying if India is going to go to the table, then what do we put on the table? What do we say? Listen, this is what we put on the table. And what we put on the table, it's beautiful. What we put on the table is our people. Their wisdom, what they do, their likes, dislikes, their imagination, their fear. This suddenly in the 21st century has got value. In the 20th century, it had no value. I remember so many people saying that population is a weight, population is a disaster. No, population is the biggest asset you can have. It's a strength. But it's a